Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, we're not drawing coral. Finally, I'm really excited about this. Let's see. Let me know if you guys are able to hear me. Make sure that everything is good. My heart is racing. I've been rushing around like crazy for the last 20 minutes waiting because the bad cow, Wade, oh, he's not standing there staring at me anymore. Trying to get him to do his business sometimes is just difficult. But anyway, oh good, everything's on. So while I was standing out there, my neighbor comes over and he's looking over the fence, kind of laughing at the ridiculousness of Wade not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's like, I'm going to start to squat. Nope, not really. Going to start. Nope, not really. This is an ongoing drama with Wade. He brought my neighbor, though, brought me brisket he just made, and it's amazing. So I see you guys were talking about food. You should be jealous. It's in my fridge. I had a couple bites. I was excited. So anyway, he had to bring me the spice thing so I could look and see if the ingredients were safe for me. They were. Really excited. No one cares. We're moving on. So tonight, back to digital painting. We are working on, let's pull this up, see if I can get my screens where they're supposed to be. I'm going to pull up some fish really quick. I'm thinking, I've got a few fish that I really want to draw tonight. So I'm just going to pull these into, we've got some butterfly. Oh, nope, that's not what I meant to do. You do not need to be there. Let me pull some stuff over and then I'll pull the screen up. So we'll do the butterfly fish. We've got flame angel. Definitely want to paint one of those. What else do we want? So yeah, I'm still kind of out of breath, heart's racing, like trying to rush around, getting everything, get my coffee, get the dog settled, get everything done. And I didn't even have my mic set up right. So that's why I wasn't sure if it was going to work tonight. I like this file fish. Maybe we'll paint one of those. Let me pull in what other fish. I'll just do a search really quick in my, those are my fish. Those aren't even good photos because I'm not good at taking photographs of fish yet. Working on that. Let's see what's in this folder. Oh, I got a lot of stuff in this folder. Another butterfly. That'll be a good one. Hopefully we won't have to spend much time looking for stuff tonight because I have so many great photos to work from already saved from other paintings. Let us see. So before we get started, as I'm pulling all of these images up that you can't see just yet, if you are new to these live streams and you're looking for just a straight tutorial, that's not what these live streams are. These live streams are a chance that I get to hang out with you guys and we chat about whatever you want. No politics, but we just get to hang out and chat. And it's not something, if you've ever emailed me, you know I don't typically get back to people in any reasonable amount of time, if ever, because then I forget after it's been so long. Sorry, hand lotion, just washed my hands. So that's what this is. I get to chat and hang out with you guys, answer any questions you have, and all that fun stuff. If you're looking for straight lessons, that is what Patreon is for as little as $4. Here's my sales pitch. For as little as $4 a month, you get access to all of my longer tutorials. There are over 300 available for you immediately when you sign up, and a new one every single week. I work in multiple mediums. If you're unsure if that's going to be a fit for you, you can head over to my Patreon video library on my website. Link is in the video description. If I did my job right, that's hit or miss. And you can see what tutorials, what lessons are there, and there is a free colored pencil demonstration, a 2-hour colored pencil demonstration for you there. Okay, hi Raymundo. Let's see, what other fish do I want to throw in here? Oh, I kind of like this tang. Let's throw him, maybe. What else do we have? I'm just going to grab a few and then we're going to jump right in. Unlike usual, where I'm spending half the stream, well, choosing photos. Ooh, copper banded butterfly. We might throw one of those guys in. What else do we want out of here? Let's start with these and see where we go. So let me get this back up. I'm gonna have to actually pull these all into separate. Can I combine? I can't combine you. I really would like to be able to, but apparently that is not going to work. So I'm just going to sit here and talk to myself. Well, not really. You guys are listening to me talk to myself. So is it really talking to yourself then? Okay. I think I'm going to start with these butterflies. Let me shrink everything else down and then we'll pull the screen up so you can see. I think I'm going to do a lot of butterflies. Butterflies are one of the fish I do not have and will not have in my tank. They're not suitable for the size tank I have, and they tend to eat a lot of coral. Some of them are fine with it. some of them are not, but butterflies and angelfish are two fish that you won't see in my tank. Let's go ahead now and give me just a minute and you guys can see what I am seeing, maybe. There we go. Hi, Susan. Gypsy Heart said, howdy, hey, I'm on time. It's a miracle given how I've been going today for me that you've seen on MeWe. I forgot today was Wednesday till I got the alert. How do I breathe at this point? Yeah, you and me both right now. Okay, let's see. We're good. Let's get this out of the way. Wait, what is not showing? Something is not showing. There we go. Now you can see the actual screen. And so these are the butterflies. I'm going to throw these in here. Now, here's the really cool thing. I'm going to paint them. I'm not even going to worry about where they go. This is one huge, well, there's several benefits to working with, ooh, Eo said brisket would be so good with red wine. I may do that after the stream. My husband found me a red wine. I don't even know what it was called, but it was normally like $27. My limit's like $15. Sometimes I'll go up to $20 on a bottle of wine, but that is rare. I am not figure my palate is not established well enough to justify expensive wine. But he found when it was on sale for like $13 or $12 or something like that, that's normally $30. And so he's like, just because it was such a big discount, he had to try it. And I'm thinking, okay, it's probably just not good. That's why it was on so much. Oh my God, it was so good. And I don't even know what it was called. So I don't know. I'm telling you if I can't tell you what it was called. But I will be having that after the stream. Okay. Anyway, what I was saying about the digital, one of the things that's really cool, I'm going to draw these just in the middle of the water, and I can draw them big. I can draw them any size I want, and then I can just shrink them and move them wherever I want. I can flip them in reverse. You can just try different things. So you've got a lot of freedom in this, where normally if I were working on a painting, I want to get them drawn out the exact size I want in the right location, but digitally I can scooch these guys wherever I need them to go. So that's pretty good. You know, I don't like Merlot, Nick. I like Cabernet or red blends are my normal go-to. I'm not a huge, I'll drink rosés sometimes, but I don't like that rosés are better when they're cold. I like that the reds are even warm, they're still good. So I can have one glass, and by one glass I actually mean two glasses filled in at one time. So it's just one big glass that's technically two. But anyway, I can have that and it'll last me all night long. Like I get this fancy drink that lasts for what seems like forever. So anyway, that's why I go with those. But yeah, I'm just not, the Merlots I've never really loved. Yeah, apothic wines are good. I don't think I've had an apothic wine I didn't like. But I've only had, I think I had their rosé. I had their red blends. I've had many. They have a few different red blends that were really good. Karina said, I watch your YouTube shows daily, but when I click in your name, it doesn't come up, which I think is weird. I have to write your name in nearly every time. Huh. That sucks. I don't know why they do the things that they do. Oh, I didn't charge this. Do I have a charger for it? Hold on, maybe I can charge it that's not the right one, while I'm working, so I can still use it. You might work. Let me see. Hold on, my little remote control is probably going to die because I did not charge it like I should have. There's a hair that is like touching my face weird, and it's making, okay, that's going to drive me insane. Where is that coming from? I did not catch it. There it is. It's a little loose one flying around. Okay, where's the pluggy guy? Nope, backwards. Which way are you? There we go. You have to actually have pressure. That's scary. Okay. Yeah, I like dry wines bitter. I really like the spicy. Really like spicy. I don't like sweet, which is weird for me because I typically am a huge fan of sweets, but I definitely am a fan of the dry, bitter, extra tannins. When they're like, oh, what is it, mild or really smooth? I'm like, nope, not for me. Okay, so let's change are you guys, yeah, you're able to see my mouse. So I'm going to start by doing the line drawing and picking a color here. I don't even know what I need a new layer. That's going to be number one. So let me get a new layer going. I think I hear my husband was napping and I sent him a text that there was brisket in the fridge. I think I hear him getting into it. He better not eat it all. My neighbor gave us a lot though. I'm like, how much did you make that you had that much left over? He said 18 pounds. Holy crap. Okay, these are masked butterflies. We'll start with the lines. I need to scooch that up a bit. You need to be moved way up front. And it's cool too, like let's say I want them behind the coral. Just drag them behind the coral. I don't have to make that choice right now, which is very nice. The lines on the anemone, are those still there? Those need, yeah, I can erase some of the, I was trying to get rid of some of these extra layers. I can combine them now. I probably should have done that earlier. Do I have any others that are just the lines? Lines, brown line, yeah, I'll mess with that later. Oh, that could have been the good lines. Yeah, I won't start erasing stuff yet. I do need to still do the sand, but I'm just too excited to draw. We're gonna get at least one fish in before I bother with the sand. Let's see. Karina said, it's not a stalker thing. I have 3 people I listen to when drawing, and I draw with my job and hobby. I just think YouTube does strange things. I absolutely think you're right. I didn't think it was a stalker thing. No, I've experienced some weird things too, where it's like I'm signed up for people and I just never see notifications for. Some people I will see every notification and some I won't. And I go and check and it's like, I'm still subscribed. I'm not sure why this doesn't come up on my feed. Gypsy Heart said, I take any wine at this point to drown the squirrel brain today. Okay, let's see. Now I need to pull my photos back up. Let's get you over here. It's kind of not the best setup. Actually, they're just going to have to be somewhat off screen. So unfortunately, you guys won't see everything there on the fish that I'm looking at, but I think I have to do it. Cat's Art Pig said, that one piece of coral still looks like a chocolate donut with sprinkles. It does. You are not wrong. And it's funny because now I can look at mine. I'm like, oh, because I have that same type of leather coral. It's just mine's green with like more of a pink and kind of purpley base, grayish base. Mine just looks like a pink and green donut. Let's see. Now I need to pick my layer. Once I get started, we should be good. That is not showing up. Why is it not showing up? What have I done? The masked butterflies. You are the top layer. What do I have set wrong? That should be showing up. Whoa, I might just have to restart. I've had that happen before where stuff just doesn't, yeah, it's not behaving the way it should. So now I get to shut down. Let's save this and shut down Photoshop because it's having some kind of a weird hiccup. Man, I'm going to have to pull all these photos back up, which sucks. But that's what I'm going to have to do because it is not behaving well. Sorry about that. That was all a waste pulling up those photos now. So at least now I'm only going to pull up the butterflies while we get those drawn out. Okay, you and let's see, are you going to show now? Yeah, see, now it shows just fine. So the problem was just sometimes I just have to restart it. Layer, nope, I need to open, what was the other one? Will it still show up? Coral. Yeah, I don't know what it was called. So we'll have to do it this way. Oh, that's actually easy enough. They're right there. I just have to shrink them back down and go through this whole thing again. Doesn't it feel like we just did this? Cat's Art Big, shame on you. Have to restart. Yeah, there we go. I restarted this before I started the live stream too, because I know that happens. It apparently does not matter. Okay. Am I good? We need to move you back up and pull that down. Let's zoom in a bit so we can see what we're doing. Okay, well, I'm just going to sketch them in here, and then we can change the size or whatever we want from there. Am I even on the right layer? I guess I should check that too. Move you guys back out of the way. Masked butterfly. There we go. Okay, so see, I can do these super big and ridiculous because I can shrink them down, and it's better to go too big and then shrink it down than to go too small and try to make it bigger and then have it all pixely and not look right. So this works. So I'm just going to start by getting that general outline. we go. Little fin down here. And then we've got a second one back here. This one's kind of turning away from the camera, so he's going to be a weird angle. Notice when I sketch stuff out, I don't go through and erase any mess up line. I leave them all there. What happens if you're freehanding something and you keep you're like, oh, that line was bad and you erase it. Oh, that line was bad, you erase it. You have a tendency to just keep putting the same wrong line in the same wrong place. So instead, what I do when I'm sketching something like this, where I'm like, this one's kind of a weird angle, the perspective's going to be a bit different since he's looking away. He's starting to swim away from the camera. So I want that variation in the fish. So I'm going to, it'll be a little bit harder. This guy's easy because he's just flat. But this one takes me a little bit more to get him right, but I don't want to just keep erasing every single bad line. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing the wrong line over and over and over again. Karina said, I've been thinking about animals that are different, but you might have already done them. If not, I thought crocodiles, sugar gliders, badger, honey badger, ants, and cuttlefish. I've not done any of those, but I do have a really good cuttlefish photo that I want to do. Like really good. I'm pretty excited about that one. I think I'm going to do him in watercolor. It's not the exact same position as the other one, but they're not lined up quite the same, but that works. So now, I don't know what my eraser's set to. Let's fix that. Yeah, you can be a little bit different here. Now I can come through and erase what I didn't like, and I still don't actually like some of that. So see how I said, I'm like, don't erase them. Well, I'm going to do it because I already started to, but I see now what I want to come down. There we go. And his eye is right there. His mask. That'll work. Okay, and then his fin comes up that way, and then his fin is back a little further because of the angle. And then I want to point that one out a bit more. Okay, now I actually don't even need to erase these lines because I'm going to be painting over them, but that works. So now we've got our nice little sketch. Now we do our base layer. So I'm going to do another layer on that. This is going to be I want to pull them down. Let's see. We're going to put that under the lines for filling that in. Now I'm doing these two together too, so when I move them around, they both move together. They're going to stay connected. And now we choose our colors. Let's see. Paintbrush. I'm going to switch to, now when I work digitally, you can, when you're starting to do different textures, we've got tons of different brushes, but you can make it very simple on yourself. And I normally will stay with the soft round pressure is the one that I use for most everything when painting digitally, unless I need a special technique, like what I did with water, I'll use a specialty brush, but you can do everything with just that brush there. I can do anything I really need. It may take a little longer, but you can do it. Okay, let's see. You're going to need to be way larger now, though, and I'm going to do the rounded one just to fill that in. And actually, I don't even think I'm going to go soft on that one. I'm going to go more solid. And yeah. So let's just, actually, let's shrink that up. That's a little bit big. There we go. And the right, yeah, I'm on the right line or right layer. I'm not worried about the mask or anything like that being perfect just yet. I just want to get this base. Now this time I'm not using the airbrush one because I do want these edges to be clean. And we'll do a lot of blending and shading and such in a moment. So good news on my reef tank. I may have conquered the flukes. I don't want to speak too soon. Ow. Too soon. I hit that thing all the time because you never know, but I don't know. We still seem to be doing good. So fingers crossed there. If that's the case, I had wanted to get a tang, a Tamani tang, and maybe eventually, but I think for now I'm just going to be happy with the fish I have. Leave what's there for several months. Make sure everything's doing well. Let the tank balance out. And really coral is my main thing now, trying to get coral to grow out. I got a couple new coral pieces. I posted, if you follow me on MeWe, you saw those this week. I got some pink zoas. My goal was, I was kind of proud of myself. My goal was to go to the fish store and they were having a sale, and I wanted to get something pink, and I really just want mushrooms or zoas. So I ended up getting pink. They had one frag of pink diamond zoas. If you remember, I had a neighbor who had posted in the neighborhood group. He was selling some of his frags of that specific coral, and I was supposed to get them, but he kept flaking on when we could get together. And I finally got to the point where it's like, I'm done with you, buddy. So I never contacted him, but I did want that coral. So I was pretty happy to see those at the fish store. I paid more for them, but whatever. So I got those, and oops. I'll come back and erase that in a minute. I got those, and I got a really pretty green Ricordia mushroom. So, but I behaved, and I only got 2. My limit was 2. I got 2 corals. Of course, I did get a bunch of hermit crabs, an emerald crab, which I have not seen since I put in that tank. And what else did I get? A fighting conch and 3 Necerius snails. So those are all in coral quarantine for now. The reason that you put the invertebrates and coral in quarantine, one, coral can get pests that you wouldn't want to give your other coral, but honestly, 6 weeks I don't think is enough that you're really going to catch all the pests, because there have been several times where I watched and everything was good in quarantine, and I put it in the big tank, and then suddenly there's aptasia. So you can get pests that get through it. Like, that's not a guarantee. But my main reason for the coral quarantine is so any parasites that might be on it that would affect the fish would have died off by then. So yeah, they're all in there. Everything's doing good. I'm actually enjoying the tank. I've got a bit of dinoflagellates, I'm probably saying that wrong, going on still. It's not gotten any worse. I think I told you about that last week, and it's definitely not gotten worse. So that's encouraging. And I don't think it's super toxic. There's a type of that's so toxic, if any of your invertebrates or fish eat it, it'll kill them. I have a tail spot blenny has been eating it, and he's fine. And the crabs have all been eating it, and they're fine. So I think I got lucky, and the kind that I have isn't bad. And the way that you get that, usually it can come in on a coral frag, but I think in my case, the way that I ended up with it is because when I was dosing all of that for flukes in the tank, I had to keep the water, I had to do too many water changes. And I think that the water being too clean, I bottomed out my nitrates and phosphates, and that's how that happened. So now I'm like overfeeding the tank, which everybody is happy about, and I don't have to do as many water changes because I need to dirty it up a bit now. But yeah, things are going well. Oh, I forgot his fin. Let's do that. I need a smaller brush there. So I've been doing a lot of digital work because this is how I'm doing the coloring pages. So if you didn't see, you probably saw because I haven't shut up about it in a week, I have the new Patreon tiers, and one of them you get coloring pages. I'm having fun with that, but I'm doing those digitally, so they're like nice clean lines. Everything looks pretty cool, so I'm excited. Gypsy has said, "Limit, what is this word in which you speak?" Yeah, it's called my bank account. Is like, no more spending for you. You are out of control. That's what the limit is, unfortunately. Cat's Heart Pig said, did you break the bank getting new snails, etc.? I spent $112 or $115, something like that, which for coral and marine stuff, that's not bad. Like, I have gone in and spent $500-600 before. So $100 is like, that was my big spending for the month. We might be going, because we're going to be in that area this Monday. I might go to Glass Aquatics, and if I go there, I'll probably pick up another coral too. But I'm like really having to limit myself now. I went crazy initially stocking the tank, but now it's to the point where I'm looking for cheap because I'm not getting expensive stuff. I'm staying pretty cheap on the stuff that I'm choosing. That says something about my personality in general, honestly. But I am getting, I may pick up a couple at Glass Aquatics, which is in Hearst, Texas. I'm going to go all the way down there because I need to get carbon anyway, and they have the carbon that I like. If I'm going all the way down there, I will probably pick up a couple of corals. We'll see what they have. But maybe one, I don't know. But yeah, I've had to really rein in my spending habits because I spent so much getting the quarantine ready for these guys. When I thought they were getting sick, I went and bought 2 20-gallon tanks, heaters. Actually, I think I had the heaters, so they're not the heaters. The hang on the back filters, all the sponge media, like everything you need to get the quarantine going, the medication. I had to order a specialty place online. Like I spent so much money on all of that stuff. So I'm really having to be more controlled and more careful about the money that I'm spending because I spent way too much just getting these fish, like being prepared if I had to pull everybody. But they seem like everybody's doing okay so far. I need to stop saying that. I'm going to jinx myself. So now I can start shading this base layer. So I've switched to I call it an airbrush tool. It's got the soft fuzzy edges. Let's darken that up a lot. This guy back here is way darker. So they're doing good. The frogs are doing good. Glitch is doing so well. I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm trying to decide where I want to get the tank. That's another thing I've got to spend money on. Glitch is getting big. And so the tank, I don't know if you can, no, you can't see it. It's sitting on top of where my Little Ponies are. That tank was never big enough for a red-eyed tree frog, but it was a hospital environment for her while she kind of gained control of her mobility, which I think she's doing a bit better on. So while I did that, I'm going completely outside the line and I'll just erase it. While I got her set up that way, now I can see she's doing well enough. I think she's ready to be upgraded. So I need to get a new tank. The problem is most of the places online with the one that I want, they don't have it in stock. So there is a store I can go to locally, but I kind of don't like that store. It's called, what is it? DFW Reptarium. I hate their store managers. I almost said words. He treats customers, he's very disrespectful to people. He's one of those people who's just like, I know more than you and you're inconveniencing me for being in the store, that type. And he was one that told me he built that tank, or the tank that I bought for some of the dart frogs, that it was a new build, and it wasn't. I found the bull in it that had been used. Buried in the dirt. Like there were a lot of things. They charged me way more for the Vivarium build. They took, 4 months longer than they said it was going to take, and then made excuse after excuse, and then they charged me more than they said, and then they tried to charge me more again. And so I was just like, I'm not dealing with these people. There were so many aspects of that. I love the tank, but there were so many aspects of that whole thing where I'm like, this is the worst customer service. So I haven't been back in over a year now. So now I'm like, that's one of the only places I can get that tank though. And I may have to sacrifice my stand of, I don't want to give money to those people to make Glitch happier, because Glitch is more important than my, I guess, pride in that, or I'm taking a stance. So yeah, I'm going to have to set something up for her. They are having a reptile show in Grapevine, Texas, but that's not until like around, closer to Thanksgiving, that's a ways off. So I don't think I want to make her wait that long till she gets a bigger house. But the bigger one that I'll make, that will be her forever house. So she won't need another one after that. And hopefully I can get my neighbor to make me he does woodworking. So I want him to make me a stand, like a tabletop thing, and attach it somehow to this so that the new tank can fit on that. Because I think the new tank will be a little bit too wide. But yeah, that is the plan. Let's see. Gypsy Heart said, yes, one of those adult dirty words akin to responsibility. Can I be 14 again? I want to unsubscribe from the adult plan. It's not working for me. God, 14, that was not a fun year. I don't want to go back to that. Let's see. Teresa said, is your aquarium saltwater? Yeah, well, I have my big one, my 83-gallon Planet Aquarium. That one is a saltwater, so it's a mixed reef. My old tank, which used to be where my clownfish were in, it's 13.5 gallons. That one is also saltwater, and I use it now as my coral quarantine, and I currently have my 2 cleaner shrimp in there too. Although they can be moved over soon, probably. Anyway, I'm going to wait till I get my eDNA test back on to see if there's parasites in that tank before I move them. But anyway, that's a whole other story. In case I have to dose hydrogen peroxide, the shrimp don't always handle it well. So I have those two, and then I have it's just a 4-gallon tank that my beta is in, but it's a planted aquarium. But I think I want to upgrade his tank too. Eventually, I have too many plans and not enough dollars. I want to upgrade all my animals' houses all the time. Like, what can I make things? That's pretty much what I spend money on, art supplies and stuff for my animals. Although I did buy something for me last night. I'm super excited. I came up with it. How many times have I said I'm super excited tonight? It's everything's exciting in my world, apparently. But I came up with a new design, a new merch design for, it should be in the chat thing. I think there were like 5 circles and then glitch, and it says layer till it looks good. I ordered myself the sweatshirt, and because I have one of those sweatshirts already, and it's my favorite sweatshirt. It's like, so it's thinner than normal sweatshirts. The one that I have, or they make a couple different ones, but the one that I got, it's like a really soft, like, it's not stiff. It's very loose. I don't know. I just love it. So I got that one, and then I got a hot pink tank top with the same logo on it. So I did buy myself some stuff. I'm really excited for those to come. Let's see. Cavium said, I'll be full-time at my job soon and have a painting I want to finish in 2 months for a concert. Besides Supernatural, super long show, any recommendations for shows to watch while I paint? On Amazon, do you guys remember what it's called? Is it Shadow and Bone? Shadow and Bone? It was that new Amazon one. It's based off the books, and the books are excellent. I read the audio. I blew through those audiobooks so fast, and then they have like offshoots that were excellent as well. I loved them. But that one was really fun. I liked that. What else? Kevin said, I don't want to feel like I should only paint when watching, listening to something, but for now, it'll be more convenient to squeeze art and personal time in if I can. Oh, that will be your life forever. That is my life forever. Like, I rarely watch TV. I did watch the What If, a couple of episodes of that last night, which is why I was up way too late. But I have to combine them too. They're the only way I can fit in enough time to get the videos and all the business side along with the artwork done is to combine. For me, it's listening to audiobooks usually while I work. And that is absolutely the way to go, because it makes it feel less like you're working, like you're doing something else too. So, but yeah, that show was really good on Amazon. Have you watched the Sherlock Holmes with Benedict, I forget what his name is. That was I loved those. That would be my other recommendation. Moody Roan says, too many plans, not enough dollars. Welcome to my life. I need a shirt that says that to remind me of the status of my bank account. Yeah. That's one of the harder parts of being an adult for sure, making responsible choices. And I don't do credit cards. I've gotten myself in trouble with those before, so I am super anti-credit card now. I will not make those mistakes again. So if I don't have the money for it, I'm not buying it. That's a very, the only thing in debt I am is the car, which is almost paid off. And we only have one car because I don't drive. And, that's too opaque or translucent. And what else the house. Other than that, I'm like, I am not getting myself into that trouble again. It is so hard once you get into debt, to break out of that. So yeah, if I don't have the money for it, I must not need it. That's kind of my personal thing. So when I go, and even if there's a coral I want, I'm like, too bad, don't have the money, not getting it. I had a lot of stuff last week, or over the last last couple of months. So I got these fish. I've had them now actually 2 months as of yesterday, or when the new fish came that started the whole drama of it. It was 2 weeks after I got them that the flukes turned up. So that has, over the last 2 months, just spending stuff, I had to get a UV didn't have to, but it was safer. I put a UV sterilizer on the tank, and I wanted to run one of those already. I'm one of those people who like it running all the time. A UV sterilizer is basically going to, it kills, depending on which stream, depending on how much flow you have going through it. If it's going faster, you're going to kill different algae. So if you have an algae bloom or a bacterial bloom or something like that, the UV sterilizer will do that. But if you slow it down a bit, it can also kill any parasites like ick or anything like that flow through it. So that can reduce the load of parasites that are in the tank and help the fish to fight that off if it is something that they're able to fight off. Not all parasites they can fight off, like that ick is one they can. Well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So anyway, I knew I wanted a UV sterilizer, but when I started having problems, I'm like, okay, I can't put that off. So that was a really expensive buy. I had to get an RODI unit. That was really expensive. There were just some really big purchases. And then around the same time, my camera broke, or my camcorder that I record like I need it to work. That broke. Like it was just a bunch of stuff all at once. And so now I have to save up and get back to a comfortable place in the bank account to where if I get a flat tire, I'm not like, oh crap, what do I do? I mean, I'm not that bad off, but yeah, I don't want to get that. I've spent too much of my life in the poverty level. Like, and I'm not just saying that, like I actually was poverty level for a very long time. I do not want to go back to like it being a meltdown if you get a flat tire, like I can't afford this. What am I going to do? So I'm trying to not like overspend and end up potentially putting myself into that place. Let's see. D-Lynn Creative Arts said, I missed the animal update. So glad to be able to hop on tonight. I'm very glad to hear Glitch is doing better. She's so adorable. She really is cute. Her and Captain Cookie, my little albino. Oh my God, I love that frog. He's super active. He's so adorable. Let's see. I'm going to go. Actually, I don't even need those lines anymore. So I think what I'm going to do is erase everything that's on there for the lines, and then I'm going to use that same layer for details. Yeah, he last night I had to soak him because he always gets shed stuck on his legs. Frogs, so if you've been around very long, you've heard me talk about this, but frogs will shed their skin each night for the red-eyed tree frogs. If they're eating well, everything's going well, they'll shed their skin out each night, which normally is no big deal. And then they shed and they eat it. I know, gross, right? But he, for some reason, always gets it stuck on his back legs. But that stuff, when it hardens, it's like cement. So he's basically making a tourniquet around his hind legs constantly. And the only way to get it off, because again, the whole cement thing, is to soak him in warm water for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it softens it enough that I can remove it. So we had to do that last night. He was not pleased with, was it last night or the night before? He was not pleased with me, but he's really active, which is fun. It's fun to see a frog getting so much use out of that vivarium. Because Murky, my big girl that's been in there for a while, is that erasing? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's why. She's not super active. She's kind of lazy. She gets up and she eats. She has a couple spots she sits, but it's mostly like you really don't see her very often. That's why you don't see photos of her. She's huge. That frog is big. But with him, he's fun because he really, I'm going to add a little bit more to this layer now that I'm looking at it without the lines. He's really active. Like he takes advantage of everything in that tank, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, he's fun to take photos of too, because he's always like out in the open. Well, at night, they're nocturnal, so. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start figuring out what I want to do for the special needs frogs that I've got in there. They're going to need an upgrade, but I bought, when I was getting all of the what's it called, quarantine tanks set up for the fish tank, when I thought I was going to have to pull them to treat for flukes, I bought 2 20-gallon tanks, but I think I'm only going to keep one for that. I don't think I'm going to need both. So one of the 20 gallons I think is what I'm going to set up for my little special needs guys. Just blend that in. Whoops. Smudge that up. Okay, we are starting to get somewhere on these guys. So yeah, I've got they'll need to be set up with something different. Purple frog, I still don't know on him. He's not having the one symptom, the TMI of time, the really weird smelling urine. That completely has stopped. So I think his kidneys are improving, but he still gets really swollen. He still is, I don't like this. This needs to come out too. He still gets the weird gray blotchiness that doesn't make sense, that no one knows what that is. No one has seen that. So I don't know with him if he's going to move. I'm thinking eventually I may move him in with the 2 special needs ones, but I also don't want to risk them if he has something that's contagious. So because we don't know what he has. So it's kind of weird there. Okay, let's get these. Let's see. What part do I want to start on the detail here? I guess we can get these lines. I'm going to switch that back. Nope, you're good. That is what I want. Clark Feinart said, I just watched him in the Courier. Such a shift from Sherlock and Doctor Strange. He's such a good actor. He really is. He's definitely one of my favorites. That was one of the episodes I watched last night of that cartoon, the animated thing on, is it Disney? I don't know. It's okay, I guess, but the it was too dark. Let's make that a little bit less opaque. The what if thing, there was the Doctor Strange one. Let's see, where do I want all these to start? They kind of come up here. Let's just map out where that is. And then they'll end right about there. Let's go a bit wider on that. And I'll come back through and add additional shading because you don't want them to be just solid orange like what I have here. I want to get a little bit more of a deeper red on some of this. Whoops, that just jumped. Where were we? Kevin said, Cumberbatch. Yeah, I can never say his name or remember it. Not sure if that's right, but yeah, Sherlock seems interesting. I've been meaning to check out Doctor Who as well since I love weird fiction stuff. My husband really liked the Doctor Who stuff. I never got into it. Like I'd come in occasionally while he was watching. I'm like, it never interested me. But my husband loved those. Well, not whatever the last season was, but before they started like getting all weird and preachy. But yeah, the Sherlock Holmes, like that that was just a fun show. His brother, his brother is like my favorite. Minecraft, Minefield, Mine something. I can't remember I don't know. But I don't remember names. Yeah, such a fun show. Like that's definitely one I can watch again. I'm gonna watch, if you haven't watched The Witcher, I know the new one comes out in November-ish. So I want to watch that again. Just to get caught up before the next one comes out. Shayna said, just came back from the cinemas. My day was okay until my mom said something to annoy me. I guess it wouldn't be a normal day if she didn't loving from a distance is answer I find. Paul said, hi, Lisa, I'm getting into sculpture now. Yay, nice. Have I ever used ArtRage? Yeah, ArtRage is really good. Yeah, see, Photoshop is definitely a bit more difficult. Photoshop, I think, has more things it can do overall, but it's harder to get the hang of for sure. I can definitely see where that frustrates people, like when you're getting started. It's worth it. I mean, which layer? I want to go back to this layer. It's worth it to learn because it is so versatile. Like there's so many things that you can do with Photoshop, but it takes some getting used to. And I do think that like ArtRage and some of the programs just for painting can make it a bit easier. But too opaque. One of the things I recommend when you are starting with digital painting, and like what I'm doing here, this tool here, I've got the soft round, hard round, soft round, pressure size, hard round, pressure size. Those two, so it's like you get the point at the end. These ones here are pretty much all I need for most things. I can paint anything with those brushes. So keep it a bit more simple for you. If you're new to digital painting, just try using those four. You can what you do is adjust the size and the opacity back and forth. Those two things. So you can really simplify those brushes and only adjusting opacity and the size of your brush. You can do anything with that. I mean, you make it easier on yourself when you eventually get to the point where you are doing using more of the fancy tools, but you don't have to start. You know, keep it easy if you can while you're getting the hang of things. Oh, nope, that's not me. Kevin said, funny thing, I just got The Witcher 3 recently. There was a sale on Steam, so I'll probably get to that as well if I end up liking the game. The story's really good, especially when you get to the end of it, you're like, oh, I need to watch this again. Like, now that I know stuff, I need to go back to the beginning and watch it again. It's good. Nick's watching deer eat pears off of his pear tree. That's... sounds like something from the 1800s, like what they used to watch too. So your TV shows are what I would expect for the North Pole. Also, probably way prettier and more wholesome than what most of us watch on TV. Okay, let's see. So that gives me a decent base. We're starting to build that up. Let's start getting some more of these reds in here. I'm going to pull that a bit deeper and a bit darker. Oops, definitely need to change that brush. That reindeer though. Oop, let's make that a bit more opaque. So the big thing when you're painting, no matter what medium you're working in, look how I come through and pull in darks. You don't, like if I would have left that with orange. So this is one of the things everyone gets caught up on, especially when they're new to art, is what color are you using? If I just knew what color to use, my work would look realistic too. No, it's your values and getting variation in there. I mean, look here, that orange was fine. That orange was the right color. However, if I leave it just like that, it's too cartoony. So we want to get more depth in that. I just get a darker color and I'm coming in and adding that. Not everywhere, but you start getting more shading like that. And that's what you want to focus on, are your values, and getting the variation as needed in your work. It'll make a really big difference. Let's see. We've got so much detail to get all over the place. Yeah, I'm on the right layer. Pull that opacity way up. That was too dark. Too dark, too thick. So let's thin that line way down. There we go. That's much better. And all these little things will make such a difference in that end result. It's not just about filling in the color solid. That's, you know, coloring book and cartoon level stuff. We want to make it look more realistic. Ooh, this eye is all kinds of messed up. Hold on. Let us fix. I need the same color I used there. That's good, opaque. My angle is off here because of the perspective. I've got to fix that. There we go. Shayna said, do you do coloring books? If so, what's your favorite? I find they're great for improving my techniques without in the entire sketch if I'm just practicing. So I draw coloring books, but I don't do, like I make them, but I don't work in them. Coloring books are typically looking down. One, it requires excess time that I don't have. Two, which would be fun if I watched TV. I'd want to sit there and color. But I mean, I enjoy coloring, but the looking down at a table, like that's how I would want to work, and that hurts my, like I can't look down for any length of time. So they're just not, I mean, yeah, I could work at an easel, but if I want to be at my easel, why not just create finished artwork? But so no, I don't do them myself, but I do make them. I can show you, actually, let's save this. Let me show you some, oh, these are really sketchy looking. I've got a lot of work to go on these. Let's save that. I'll show you some of the new coloring books I've been doing, or coloring pages, I should say. What are they saved under? Dogs, coloring pages. So this was the first one for Patreon. I have a few here, so let's, there was that one. That was the first coloring. So I did the new tiers on Patreon, and that's one of the new things. The rewards are the coloring pages. So we've got that one. That one's definitely one of my favorites. I find that if it's got more detail, it's easier to make the coloring page look good. I did this one. Whoops, open up. Oh, you are trying to open up. Actually, you're just freezing up. We're just going to sit here and look at each other awkwardly while this is frozen up. Come on. Nope, not doing it yet. Let's try now. Nope. Whatever. Oh, that would actually be easier. Hold on, let's close that. That makes it better. Let's put you back where you were and pull that up. I like that method the best. So here was another one. That one I haven't released yet. That one will go up on Patreon really soon here. So it's 4 coloring pages a month, if not more, at least 4 that I'll be doing. I think that's the aqua tier. So the fourth tier up. So there's that guy. That's one of the pages. And then I just released the elephant. Oh, it's not even in the right page. Why aren't you in the right page? Deer, sea turtle, white horse. I've been working on a bunch of these. They just aren't finished yet. I guess I just opened the Photoshop file. There was one that I need to work on. So yeah, I've been doing making a bunch of these. White horse. How did that one come out? I don't even remember. Yeah, that one. It's kind of basic. They're all based off paintings. And then where the heck is... Wow, I need to release some of these. I didn't realize I had this many done already. I've been working on them. The elephants one, I really liked how it came out, but I think I put it in the wrong folder. Yeah, I did. There's the elephant one. So I like him a lot. Anyway, I've been making coloring pages, but I don't work on coloring pages. It's just too many like struggles there. Time, the way you look down, all that just doesn't work for me. Paul said, but I love coloring. I got some Harry Potter coloring books that I was hoping to be able to do. I think I got some Warcraft ones too. I just never really I couldn't do them. Paul said, do you have books that are on your to read list, but probably not going to? I have, or maybe I read them sometime. I'd read them sometime on Halloween or Christmas. No, usually if it's something I want to read, I read it right away. So no, I don't think there's anything like that. Eo said, your elephants were amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I need to do another coloring page. So those elephants that are the one that I just showed, that coloring page, it was just a single elephant because the reference photo came from wildlife reference photos, which means I can't make a coloring page from that unless I could make one and give it to people who bought the photo from wildlife reference photos because they would have rights to use it then. So that's I decided to make a separate one with a different photo I did have rights to use as a coloring page. But I wanted something that went along with the painting this week. So that's what we ended up with. What layer am I on? Yeah, that's the right layer. Oops, that line is getting too crazy. Actually, let's blow this up so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Cat's Heart Pig said, your coloring pages are nice. Thank you. Paul said, are you a fan of thriller mystery books? Not really. I like fantasy stuff. I'm not a... I mean, it's rare that I read. I think, yeah, no, not really. I'm boring. Yeah, I like fantasy. I like things that wouldn't even remotely happen in this life. Those are the books that I'm interested in. As unrealistic as possible. It's a little harsh. I'll use another color for that. I've read mystery stuff, and it's not that I didn't enjoy them. It just, I don't know. I don't have a problem putting them down. Like, it's not something that I get super sucked into usually. Definitely need to go a little bit darker on the edge. I want you maybe a little bigger, but really translucent. Let's see. Yeah, that should work. I know not everyone is super into digital work, but I will say, as much as our digital work that took this long for these live streams, it has been such good practice having to do this every single week. Like, it has made a really big difference in how fast I can go through things. Like, I actually remember where stuff is now on the programs. I was so out of practice when I first started this again. So yeah, this has been, let's switch to that. This has been really good for improving my digital work, that's for sure. Yeah, and I have a new, Nick is putting the schedule in the comments there. I have a new schedule altogether. The live streams are the same. So live streams are Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time and Fridays at 1 p.m. Central Time. Usually Fridays are a colored pencil live stream, and then Wednesdays are normally, well, they had been acrylic painting stuff that I get done in 1 to 2 lessons, but for this one, this has just been a long process with the digital one because we're making it really good so you guys can make or use it for wallpapers on your phone or whatever if you wanted to, since what started this doing the digital and wanting something really detailed that people might like is that when I do the giveaways, they're only available in the US. So I wanted something that people outside of the US could have too. So that's what this is going, where this is going. But anyway, so that's why this is taking so long. But normally Wednesday nights, so back to the schedule. Friday nights, Friday at 1. My brain just shut down completely. Fridays, 1 p.m. Central Time is normally going to be a colored pencil live stream. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Central Time, this lately, or acrylics normally. And then Tuesdays now, every Tuesday, I've got an edited various mediums art demonstration. And then Thursdays, I have an art tip. So tomorrow I have one coming up. Like real simple, quick little art tips are what the Thursday videos are going to be. So yeah, new schedule, more videos. I'm excited about them. Sarah said, what kind of tablet are you using? This is a Wacom tablet. It's the bigger 27-inch, 30-inch, whatever. It's the big one. 30, 32-inch? I don't know. It's the bigger one. It's one of the older models though. So yeah, that is what I'm using. They're really nice. They're pressure sensitive, so you feel like you're actually drawing. You don't feel like you're just like sketching on a computer screen, if that makes sense. Clean that up just a bit there. Natalie says, do you think you'll do a critique live stream soon? I'm not sure when, but yes. I don't know if I'd say soon because I've got this to finish and then we're almost done though. Maybe we'll do a critique on a Friday after we're done with our current colored pencil one. So that one I've probably got, I'm going to guess 3 more weeks to finish that, and then maybe we'll do a critique after that. Because it has been a really long time. And so the critique submissions will be sent in through MeWe. And if you're like, but I don't have MeWe, it's free. You can have it too. But I'll take it through our art group over on MeWe. I'll make an announcement when we've got those available. Why not on the Facebook one? Because I don't really use Facebook. So, and I just don't. It's a crap platform. And yeah. If you're watching, like, why do you say it's a crap platform? Let me give you a little rant. Let's do the short version. Algorithm is crap. It is horrible for our business. When you post, only 3% max of your viewers will ever see the content unless you pay them for advertising, which is extremely expensive. So as artists, I don't know who can afford that crap. So that's bad. What really pushed me over the edge was when they deleted my account in, was that February or March? It was March. Yeah. They deleted my account because their algorithm screwed up and decided I must be spam. They did not give me any option to get I couldn't talk to a person. My business account has 33,000 followers, or it did. I don't know what it is now, but it had 33,000 followers. And I still couldn't even give in that. They encourage you to build your platform or build your following, build your business on their platform. And then you have no way to contact something when their platform screws up. I couldn't access my photos, like on my personal account. I couldn't access anything. And the only way I could get my account back, they made me do this really creepy facial recognition thing. And I thought I was hacked. That was kind of my assumption initially, because my first notification, I opened the Facebook app. I wanted to look at something. I was going to check something with a neighborhood group. I forget what it was, but it had a little window there, and it made you look at the phone, turn your head to the left, turn it to the right. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I was like, my information's already out there because I make videos and I need the business account back. So I went through their creepy facial recognition thing just to find out. I still, even giving them that level of like them violating personal privacy, I still might not get my account back. They also want your driver's license. Not freaking kidding you. They are that invasive of our personal lives. Kind of reminds me of a guild I almost joined, or tried to join, technically joined, and then left right away when they demanded you use your real life name on Warcraft. No one uses your real life name on Warcraft. That's creepy. I don't know what you need my real life name for, unless you're just wanting to make sure you know if someone's female or not, so you know if that's the person you want to hit on. I can't think of another option on that one. Creepy. But anyway, so yeah, that was my experience with Facebook and why I'm so against them. constantly are making it worse for your businesses. And I'm like, it was just a good wake-up call for me. Why am I using this? Why am I depending on any part of my business to be through Facebook? Same thing with Instagram. I really don't use Instagram. The only time you see me post on there is when I tell you guys I have merch, or I have a new TikTok, or I have something on another platform. I will not build or depend on my business being through them. They showed me that I can't trust them. They're a horrible company. There's no way to contact someone when you build your business on them, and then they decide to delete your account. And you know why they deleted my account? They screwed up. That's it. I'm not involved in politics. I'm not like, I would never bully someone. I'm not mean to people. There's nothing I've ever done that violates any of their terms of service. But other than that, now I have a fake account because I had to, because that's the only way. They require also, you always have to use your real name. That's why they want your driver's license. They've got to confirm it's your real name, supposedly. But I don't want the people in my neighborhood to know I'm a YouTuber. And I don't want some fans, because I've got a few stalkers that contact me where you're like, sir, please step away. None of you guys who are watching today, it's private messages. It's not a name that anyone would be like, oh, that person did that. It's nothing from like our chat or anything like that. But I'll get private messages occasionally where you're like, please don't ever figure out where I live. I don't want my real name associated with like my neighborhood group, but I want to be able to participate in the neighborhood group because I want to know if a dog is loose or, stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, no, Facebook, screw them, not using it. So anyway, they are extremely invasive. Everything is terrible. I started using MeWe as my primary, like outside of YouTube, social media. It is so much better. So much better. MeWe does not, you can use whatever name you want. So if you need to keep yourself private, whether it's because you've had stalkers, you've got problems with family, whatever it is, use whatever name you want and they don't care. That's not a problem at all on MeWe. You have, what are some of the other things? Oh, if I post on MeWe, so Facebook, I have 33,000 followers. MeWe, I have 1,700, way less. But if I post on MeWe, every single one of those people, as long as they open the app that day, will see that post. Facebook, 3% max. Why am I wasting my time on that? Why would I waste my time on that when I can post more than on MeWe, where people see it, or more YouTube content, or more, So anyway, that is why I am constantly like, no to Facebook, why I will not be doing, like when I do the critiques, that will be held over at MeWe. So if you have not already joined, link is in the video description. It is such a better platform. There are some bugs that need to be worked out, but as far as like overall what that platform is, no ads. None. No one can pay to advertise on MeWe. There's no screwed up algorithm. That's the other thing. God, I go through this rant every time. I'm like, I'm going to keep it short. And then I go off on the same half-hour long rant. Facebook has an algorithm set up that promotes negativity. If something is negative, it is more likely to get a response, more likely to get comments. The more comments you get, the more they push it to the top of the feed. So you see negative constantly. How many times do you open up Facebook and you leave annoyed and mad and realize, wow, these people that I thought were cool people are actually kind of extremist jerks? I mean, I would guess you want to know if someone's like that, but I don't really want contact with these people. Actually, I had that happen with a friend last night. I opened the app and they were bashing. It's like, what I feel about certain things, but you're sharing these memes talking about how stupid someone is if they don't agree with you on a certain subject. And it's like, you're basically telling me I'm stupid because I feel like that and I'm going to see that and I don't want to see this crap. Like people are it's just so polarized. Everything's just terrible on Facebook. I hate it. I don't even like opening the app. MeWe, you see everything in chronological order. So even if someone posts something negative, it's not constantly being pushed to the top of your feed like it is on Facebook. It is just so much better. Anyway, there we go. Oh, Tumblr. Tumblr is such a crap. Like I can't believe that anyone even uses Tumblr anymore. That thing is such a joke. That's like what was it? MySpace level of joke. Let's see. Paul said, can you do typical computer stuff on that tablet? You could. I don't know why you would, but you could. It's not, I will say the resolution on this monitor is not as good as the resolution on my other monitor. So there's that. But I think the newer ones have better resolution. I'm sure you could use it as just your regular computer monitor. I have two set up. I don't know. Because this one I have closer. I wouldn't want my normal computer monitor this close to my face, but when I draw, I like to be up close to it. So I don't know. I don't know if other artists tend to work that way or not. Like it has to be hooked up to a desktop, like your actual computer, but I'm not sure on that one. I am not experienced enough to give you a set answer. Lou said, you think it's actually worth getting the Derwent Inktense pencils? Because I've been on the fence about getting them after watching many of your Derwent Inktense videos. I love them. I love the Inktense pencils and the blocks. If I was only going to get one, though, I would get the blocks. I think the blocks are more versatile. I use those much more. I'll go over with them with stuff with the pencil, but I can do a whole painting very comfortably with the blocks and never feel the need to have to use the pencils. I don't feel that way with the pencils. With the pencils, I'm like, oh, I just want to paint this background really quick. So it just depends on how you like to work. But if you were only going to get one, I would get the blocks. But they do. I love using them together, but the blocks more. Shayna said, it's a shame you think that of Facebook as so many big companies use it. Quite surprised of Facebook, but I guess every user experience is different, except they're not. That's the funny thing. You talk to more people, they're just not aware that's what's going on all the time. Everyone's head is in the sand when it comes to Facebook. Not everyone, but I mean, no, everyone's experience. This isn't a difference of user experience. Now, it may be a difference of the friends on your list, but it's not a difference. How many pages have you ever followed? Like I used to follow, there's a Nature's Nate, they make, it's local honey. Them because I wanted to know if they ever had coupons because honey's expensive and I go through a lot of it. Laura Bars, I followed them for coupons. I followed so many, probably hundreds of pages. I never see posts from them anymore. Why? If they didn't pay to advertise, Facebook's not sharing it. That is why. I don't see what I want to see. I don't see who I follow. I follow aquariums. I follow fish, like local fish stores or tropical fish stores. I follow bird stores. I follow different things that give tips on, cool bird items and whatever. I don't see those posts because that doesn't drive up drama. And those companies, the companies I really like, can't afford to advertise, like Pepsi, which I don't drink soda, so that doesn't do me any good. I'll see ads for Pepsi all the time, but the content I want to see on Facebook, I'm not seeing, and it's the same for everybody. It's not different. You're just not really aware it's happening because you're so used to it. You've just gotten to the point, and I'm not saying you like trying to attack you, just like people in general are so used to it and have just come to accept that that's how Facebook is. Every fourth post is an advertisement from a company you didn't sign up to see. But the companies you did sign up to see, Facebook says they don't show as much anymore because they didn't want you to feel spammed, like you were being spammed all the time. What about every fourth post is a paid advertisement? Now, I'm not actually opposed to there being ads. That's fine. They need to make money. I'm okay with that. But don't tell me that I can't see the content I want to see because you're too busy filling it with advertisements. When you use another platform that is better, like MeWe, that does not have those ads, that does not have that algorithm, and you actually see the content you signed up to see, the stuff you want to see, you really are more aware of what a crap platform Facebook has become. Facebook used to be good. Back in like 2012, there was a lot of good about Facebook. It was good for businesses. It was good for everyone involved. It was good for Facebook. Facebook was making decent money too. They've gotten so greedy on the way that things are done where if I post something about Patreon, if I use the word Patreon, if I post, hey, I've got new t-shirts available, no one is going to see it. Dear God, don't post MeWe. Actually, they started banning or removing certain posts if you mentioned MeWe. That's how, they're afraid of it apparently. But yeah, no, they are not people just aren't aware of how bad Facebook is because they're just used to it and they accept it. I mean, frogs boiling in a pot. It started out good and it slowly got worse and worse and worse. And you just sit there because you don't realize you're being burned alive. So yeah, there we go. It's not an issue of, I think that of Facebook. It's an issue of that is what Facebook is. That is what their algorithm is. And there is a ton of proof out there for that. It drives negativity. It drives, paid advertisement. And I'm not even opposed to paid advertisements, to be honest. But let me see the stuff I really want to see. Like, I follow the girl that I got this bat from. I follow her page. The last time I saw content from her? February? She posts? I don't see it. This is what I want to see, stuff that I want to buy. Facebook's like, oh, that person can't afford to advertise with us. It doesn't matter that you followed them. You're not going to see their content. Their content doesn't get drama. We're not sharing it. Now, somebody posts drama, that gets shared like crazy because people comment. So this isn't an issue of my experience with Facebook. This is how Facebook works. So, and I'm passionate about it because I wish more people realized that is what Facebook is. That's what they've been for years. I knew that's how they were for years. I didn't hit the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just done with them until they deleted the account. And I'm like, I can't depend on you for my business at all. Because what if I was talking let's say I was talking to Fredericks. I'm sponsored by Fredericks or Derwent. my account goes down and they can't contact me through that, and it shows this user is not available, what does that look like? It looks like I was involved in something that violated the terms of service. And what does everyone think? Something that got into politics, something dirty, something negative like that. I'm not into that at all. But that would always be my assumption if someone's account went down, like, oh, you posted something naughty. It wasn't. Had nothing to do with that. And my story is the same across the board. Like, so many people go through that, and most, like, it's crazy the amount of people who never even got their account back. So they lost years. They've been posting family photos or whatever for years. They never got it back. And we're like, well, if you lose your account, Facebook has a thing where you can get those photos back. Yeah, I tried to do that. I've been trying to get my photos downloaded with their little app for that or whatever feature since February. Never got them. They don't do it. It doesn't work. So yeah, no, that is how Facebook works. And until people realize that and realize that we have options, Facebook just keeps getting more and more control and keeps getting worse and worse all the time. Facebook is a crap platform. It is not good for our business. It's not good for our mental health. It's not even good for the communication we have with our families. Paul, I don't even see this stuff for my families most of the time. I see drama. Paul said, must be someone wanted to have access to your Facebook account. They did not disclose that. No, the way they thought, and that's what I would have thought. No, it looked like they thought that because I shared my live stream where I was painting a red-eyed tree frog, that was spam. And they needed to protect the community. Protect the community from what? Because they actually allow advertisements from companies who lie about that are scams, that you either will never get the item, or like there's a company that sells quilts. No one will get it. You will pay for it. You will not get it. It has my artwork on it and several other artists. And trying to get that taken down from Facebook, I finally had to go through PayPal to get it taken down because Facebook wasn't doing anything about it. Facebook doesn't care. They're not trying to protect the community. They're trying to make as much money as possible is what Facebook's trying to do. Trying to protect the community from mine. It's BS. Moody Rowan said, oh boy, rant time. About as good as a king size or 2 bags of chocolate candy and much, much better for the hips. Paul said, what's so funny is that the spaceman who created Facebook is trying to be relatable now by posting normal stuff and responding to people under his posts. Oh, he can try to pretend he's human, but we know he's not. I hate that guy. He's such a piece of crap. Let's see. He has done things that got people in other countries killed because he released information, private information. Like, he is a horrible human. He tries to act like he's some kind of a humanitarian. He's gotten people killed. He's done things that led to, I should say, that we knew, like how did you not know that was going to end that way by releasing that information? He doesn't care about people. Anyway, moving on. I guess I should clarify. He allegedly... There we go. Karina said, Facebook won't show you the groups you want to see, but continually tries to get you to join new groups. I hate that. And that's been the new, yes, we'll come back to that. That's actually an interesting thing you point out. I hate the ads. It's so contrast that I'm finding it more of a bullying tactic. Yeah, I noticed that more recently. I tried looking at, what was I looking for? Groups. It was one of the Red Eye Tree Frog groups. I wanted to see something or look up something. I don't know. I was looking for something health related. I forget what for the frogs. So I went to look for that group. I couldn't find my group. I had to type it in the search bar. There's Facebook. This is what Facebook likes to do. They push certain aspects of the platform. So initially it was build your platform, make a page, make your Facebook, your fan page, and build your business. You can do that. And so everyone did. And initially they used to show, let's say 75% of your content got shown to people. I don't remember what the numbers were, so I'm just making this up, by the way. But to give you the idea, it was a lot. And then over the years, it got less and less and less. And then they're like, well, we're really going to start pushing videos. So upload videos, and that's what we're going to show your viewers. So you'd upload videos, and then they get to where they start putting ads. But if they do put ads, you don't get a cut of that like you do on YouTube. But they want you to advertise. Then they said, well, you can advertise to get more followers. And this is actually how they started it. Pay us to advertise to get more followers on our platform. Okay, so you paid them. I didn't do this, but I know plenty of artists who did. You pay them to get more followers, but most of those followers were coming out of India. They were not followers who were potential customers. They were followers who they got paid to sign up to follow. It was a scam. There was a video, I forget what it was, but it broke down and showed proof of what Facebook was doing at the time. Intentional or not, I don't know. I mean, did they screw up and not realize? Like, people were saying, well, I want people from my area to be advertised to, because they would be the ones who would buy my paintings. But Facebook was advertising overseas where you didn't sell your work. So anyway, people would pay basically to gain followers. So they built up all these followers. Then Facebook got to where less of your followers see your content. Well, if half of your followers are not people who are engaging in your artwork or interested because they were the ones from India who were paid to follow your page, yes, I know you're thinking, that didn't happen. Yes, it did. This happened. Everyone forgets this happened. It was big in the news when it was happening. So we built up our pages, half of which, when people paid for it, maybe not half, I don't actually remember the numbers, but it was a huge amount where people from, and I'm not bashing anyone from India. I have a lot of you guys are in India watching. You're awesome. But the problem was, like, I don't send paintings to India. So if I wanted to advertise, it would be locally, because I would ship things, let's say, within the US. But Facebook said that that's what they were doing, except they weren't. They were bringing in fans and advertising for you out of the country. That's where you were building your numbers. So that was a huge problem. So you built your number, your page got big number-wise, but not engagement-wise. It wasn't necessarily increasing sales. So that was one really dirty thing they did. And they have you keep signing up, keep building a following here, keep building a following. And then they started removing more, and they would tell you then, post videos here that they would put ads on. I don't even mind that they put ads. They've got to make money to support that platform. It's not cheap to have a platform like that. So I'm okay with that. But they then wanted us to pay. So first it was pay to get fans. Then they stopped showing your content to your fans. And if you wanted them to see your stuff, you had to pay to show your fans, not to get new fans, to show your already existing fans, because they didn't want to spam your followers. But if they followed me, didn't they want to see my content? Like that, they made a, God, it's just so typical in today's world. But they made an argument that made no logical sense. You're like, but if A equals, wait, what? No, that's not how, that doesn't make sense. You can't say we're doing it so people don't feel like they're being spammed too much with business pages if you're then going to make every fourth post an advertisement from a paid business page. Like it was so, but people bought it. People are like, okay, overlords, we will believe what you tell us. Okay. And now even less people see the content. And so they had you build your platform with making certain, these are what you'll get out of building a business with us. And then they would change that. And it's their platform. They can do that. But we need to be like, hey, we don't like this. This is not good for our business. We're going to go elsewhere. And that's the problem. People are just too hooked on the Facebook Kool-Aid, and they're not making the change. They're just obsessed with, no, Facebook has to be Facebook. Facebook is losing users constantly. So I'm hoping that eventually starts making a difference. But for right now, yeah, that is kind of, they just have had a lot of dirty tactics, and they've changed a lot of stuff that is just not okay. And yet we just keep taking it. But yeah, so that was where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. So then the groups, that was the new thing. Now we've got Facebook groups. Build a group. Build your business with a group around your business. And then those people, that's the content we're going to share more. So that's what we all did. We made our groups. And our Facebook art group is doing great. But we did that. Now they're not showing groups to people that they want to see so much anymore. It's harder and harder. You're seeing less and less from those groups that you follow. And it's like, why can't you just show me what I want to see? Why can't I just see everything in chronological order? People have been asking for that. And they ruined Instagram doing the same thing, because you don't see Instagram in chronological order anymore either. You see based on who got the most drama, who got the most reaction. And it, again, goes back to the more negative, the more, and Instagram doesn't have that much negativity. So I will say Instagram is better in that. But still, why am I wasting my time posting if no one's going to see it? So why bother? But yeah, they do that constantly. They will, here's a new feature we were really pushing. We want you to use it. We're going to build, you're going to get more traction. You're going to do this and that. And you do it. And then they take that away. Now now you're going to get more ads for whatever is being paid for. It's just bad. Gypsy Heart said, I guess one good thing about having a screwed up family is I automatically assume people are disappointments until proven otherwise. Makes life so much simpler and less drama. I actually am followed. I don't think I follow any of my own family on Facebook. No, my sister. I do follow one of my sisters. I don't know about the other one. But I don't look on Facebook anymore anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And that sister never posts anything that you're like, I can't believe she's posting that. Like, it's not an issue there. know people get sick of listening to me rant about Facebook, but the thing is, we need to bring awareness to that. We need, if people could realize they have other options, and then what Facebook likes to do is claim that the other options are a place for hate and extremists. There are so many more extremists and so much more hate on Facebook than any other platform. Well, I don't use a bunch of other platforms that I just am mainly, well, TikTok I've been using. MeWe is my main one. And then of course, YouTube. MeWe, I don't see it. I'm not saying it's not there. You're gonna have people post hateful things on any platform. That is what social media does. But I don't see it constantly like I do on Facebook. So Facebook likes to make this, we keep you safe. No, you don't. I see way more like horrible stuff on your platform than anywhere else. But that was the big lie that went through the media. Oh, if you go to MeWe is hosting extremists of such and such. I've been there for 2 years and that has never been the case. But Facebook has to play dirty because they don't want to lose users. Karina says, I hate Facebook and their corruption with a passion. It's all for them to make money out of us and take our personal information. You know, the funny thing is I'm not even opposed to them making money off us. I am okay with that as long as we, like that could be, okay, like YouTube. YouTube has it set up to where we make money and they make money. They benefit from us being successful. They benefit from us making money because then they make more money. So YouTube is set up in it's a much better platform. And Facebook got to where they were more double dipping. Like, we want you to pay to advertise so that we can put ads on the content you're paying to advertise. Wait, what? That is the most backwards, no. And of course, we've got privacy issues. And I can almost deal with the privacy issues if my business was still going well. I mean, I'm on YouTube. I'm not that private of a person. But for somebody who is private, they should be able to make that choice for themselves. And Facebook doesn't allow you to. Facebook's like, nope, we decided we want all your real information posted so people know exactly who you are. You can't participate in your neighborhood group because you actually don't want them knowing your name. Paul said, anyway, do you propagate plants, i.e. grafting, etc.? I don't do grafting, but I do take cuttings occasionally. So I have a variegated string of hearts that I paid an arm and a leg for before I got into the tank, started really doing a whole bunch with the tank. So I had more money back then. But the variegated string of hearts, my goal is to take cuttings from that and get it growing. I want to try to get it growing hanging from one of the trees in I have a formed tree in the dart frog vivarium. And I want to do cuttings in case it doesn't work out. I didn't kill the whole stupidly expensive plant. I take cuttings from my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. That guy, it gets huge. And so I will take, when the branches get too long, I cut that. I take them into the studio. I put them in, I soak them in water until they root, and then I put it back in the pot so he's big and poofy this way instead of one long strand that way. So yeah, I do sometimes do that. Let's see. Nick said, I'll happily pay a platform so that I can curate my own feed. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the funny thing. So MeWe is actually free to use, but you can choose to upgrade to help support the platform. You get some extra benefits. I pay to upgrade. I paid for my business page. It's like $2-3 a month. And then for just the upgraded version of you get some extra the little emojis and stuff, which you don't need. You get plenty of emojis for free. But I just want to support that platform. They're making something that I like, that I am hoping does well. So I will give you money to help with that. Let's see, go back to you. And no, I can't have a live stream without ranting about Facebook. So give up on that hope. I did. But I think this is the thing too. One of the reasons that I rant about it as often as I do is it's the world, everyone using Facebook is not going to change until everyone stops being determined that Facebook's the only option. I just want people to realize how bad it is and that there are better options out there. I mean, Shayna's like, I'm sorry, you dealt with that. And I'm not trying to attack you, Shayna, if you're still watching. If I didn't run you off already, I'm sorry. But I want people to be aware of how bad it is. So many people just aren't aware. Whether they're younger and weren't around long enough to see what Facebook used to be versus what it is now or what. But we're also blind because we're just so used to dealing with it. We don't think too much of it until you start realizing, holy crap, this is not how it should be. Lou said, I say Lou, but that might be, I don't know, is that an I and not an L? It could be Uminaria or Luminaria? I'm really not sure, and I apologize, so we're just going to call you Lou now. Do you like Clip Studio Paint, or have you ever used it? I have not used it, so I'm not sure. I can't really say much in that sense. Make sure to do the @Lachri fine art. It'll highlight my name in orange, so if I'm ignoring you, I may just not be seeing your comment, and I apologize. I'm trying to catch them all, but I may not. Sarah said, I tried Facebook once about 7 years ago and started losing respect for people I thought I knew. Only could stomach maybe 3 months of it. It's a cesspool. Yeah, you know, and it's funny. So before, when I moved to that, Facebook was when I first realized one of my friends went like so far extreme, like to the point where I'm like, you're actually kind of evil. We were really good friends. And she did, I don't know if it's the seeing stuff on Facebook kind of, not extreme. What is the word? I don't know. She ended up being, I mean, she's just bat poop crazy at this point. Like, there's just no way to. And I used to be really good friends with her, and she got to where she would post things. And I even, it's funny I mentioned this because there was another friend I saw this from last night. I logged in to post about the merch thing and saw his post where he was bashing. He knows, like, there's a certain subject that we don't necessarily agree on, but we don't really talk about it. Whatever, no big deal. We can respectfully disagree on something, no problem. He starts posting these memes about how, like, we don't talk about it at all. So I'm not saying like, oh, we argued and then he went online and then posted it. No, we're aware of each other's views. It doesn't affect our friendship. It's never been a problem. And he goes online last night and he's sharing all these memes, basically saying anyone who believes what I believe, how stupid I am, or, you know, not me personally, but how dumb you are for blah, 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 all of these things. And I'm like, you really start losing respect for people. One, because you didn't research this subject. So that I'm already, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what, you do you, it's fine. But I am like, I don't think I can hang out with this person again. Well, I don't talk to him much anymore, but I have to wonder, did he get more, not extremized, but that's not even a word, more, I don't know the word, but he got really, I don't know the word, without being, anyway, so he more and more is doing that. And I had a friend, I almost said the name, no saying names, Lisa. I had a friend back in, when was this? When did I move to Texas? 2008, 2007, 2008, like right around that time. We were really good friends. Like, we used to hang out. She helped me move. She was awesome. And she ended up, what is the color I'm going for? Oh, that's where I'm having a problem. Is that like a green? Yep, that's the color I need. She'd start posting things, and it's like we were on opposite sides of the spectrum politically. Like, back then, you could just disagree about politics and it was no big deal. Today, people are jerks. So those of you who are younger and think this is normal, it is not normal what is going on today. Like, you used to be able to be like, yeah, I didn't agree. I'm not going to vote the same as you, but we're both still cool people. We both want, you know, the best for people. We just think there's a different way to go about getting the best for people. So that was kind of how people used to view politics. You had some extremists, but for the most part, that's how things used to be. Well, she was the first time I started seeing somebody posting things like super attacking anyone who didn't agree with her. And it's like, well, that's really insulting because you know I'm seeing this, like, and you're talking about how dumb I am and how horrible and evil because I don't think the same as you. Like, it got really weird. And so I finally had to unfollow her. And it's funny because I look back at her post not a couple years ago, just like, oh, I wonder what she's up to. Oh crap, she got crazier. Like, to the point where I'm like, you've done no research on anything that you're spewing. Like, none of what you're saying is true. I can show you facts, you know, data to back my views. You're just being an emotional, like where are you even getting this information from? But she got really, really weird. And it's like, I can't even talk to the person anymore. And it sucks because if Facebook wasn't a thing, I don't even think that would have happened. I think we'd still be friends today. Well, we're in different states, so maybe we wouldn't have been in contact anyway. But I think we could have still been friends today and agreed to just have different ideas on how to best help more people or how to best, you know, whatever. And because of social media, that was definitely a negative with it. When you see somebody being that disrespectful of anyone who looks at something different than they do, it was very disappointing because she really was a good friend for quite a few years. Like I said, she helped me move. That girl worked her butt off. And then right after, she just started getting more and more extreme on her views, and that if you didn't agree with her, you were automatically evil. And it's like that, right? When you start thinking just because someone doesn't agree with you that they're the devil incarnate, like, you know, you might want to back up a little and reevaluate yourself. but yeah, there are a lot of people who I like. Most of my friends and family, I don't even follow them anymore on because I got so sick of seeing the stuff they posted, and I started losing respect for people. Where I'm like, oh, please stop saying that. Like, that's not true. You're not even looking into this topic. You're just sharing some random meme you saw, and it's just not true. Please stop. And so yeah, I mostly wanted to see my frog groups, my plant groups, and the art groups. And even that, Facebook's like, no, we want you to see drama. We're going to only show you the drama out of the plant groups where someone got offensive or like no, I'm done. Let's see. Karina said, on a positive note, I got a fancy wood box set of 120 polychromos pencils with the money I made from the painting I sold. It's a little present for myself. What a great feeling. That is awesome. Congratulations. I'm excited for you. Paul said, I vividly remember I signed up to Facebook in 2007 because I just wanted to play Farmville. I don't think I've ever played games on Facebook. Maybe that's why it wasn't as positive of an experience. Do you guys remember, did you, clarifying our, wait, it's not true if it's on Facebook? Yeah. Do you guys remember Neopets? That was my first like video game, like the online stuff I used to play. That wasn't on Facebook. It was like way before that. I used to play that all the time. You had pets and like, yeah, I really liked Neopets. My very first laptop, I used to sit there and play that. Then I got into Warcraft and World of Warcraft and stopped that altogether. Like, didn't have time for Neopets anymore. Now I collect pets and mounts on Warcraft. Still, this much later. Hi, Nadira. I love all these little details. So when I do fish, I will usually add a little bit more than what even is in a photograph. It just looks a little better. So normally you'll hear me talk about don't add detail for the sake of detail, except when it's fish. I will add little extra stuff that I think really can make a difference. Although some of this is there, I am adjusting some of it. Yeah, I think the biggest thing too that'll help a platform like MeWe grow is for more of us and more creators to use it and tell people about it. And so that's one of the reasons you'll hear. That's one of the things I'm more passionate about, because I think that it makes people happier that if more of us can start using that instead. But just it's such a better algorithm. Because it's not an algorithm. It just you see it in chronological order. Really hope to see more of that. Still been enjoying TikTok. That one I've been having fun with. I mostly see horse stuff. Horse stuff and police dog stuff. Those are the things I like to watch. Watching, or just any dog, but like the Belgian Malinois, watching that breed perform and do different, like watching them run up the side of a building, flip over, grab a stick in the air, and then the owner catch it. It's like, what? That is amazing. I love those videos. And then anything with horses. Joshua said, Oregon Trail was the first computer game I played. Well, me too, 7th grade. There was a computer class, and was it after school we could go in and play? And it was addicting. My gosh, that game was addicting. I loved that game. I remember junior high. So much fun. Which is weird, because like looking back, I don't know why that was fun, but oh yeah. Paul said, was forums the Facebook of the early 2000s? Yeah, and now forums I liked, and I'd like to see more forums. So the one forum that I spend most of my time on, that I like check several times throughout the day, it's called humble.fish. Humble.fish, I think. Humble Fish. If you just do a Google search for Humble Fish, if any of you are reef keepers or you're interested in that sort of thing, I have learned so much. These people know their stuff when it comes to fish disease and treating and all that. Yeah, humble.fish. That's the one forum that I'm on all the time. I love it there. But that's a really, really good forum. And I would like to go back to forums, because it seemed like when there were forums, you'd get people who were trolls and people who were jerks. But overall, it just seemed like people were more well-behaved. At least the forums I went to. Iggy Planet, so an Italian Greyhound forum, was the main one I was on at the time. There weren't really any other forums I visited regularly. But it was so much better. I would really like to go back to forums more. And I tried making a forum for us, like an art forum. The problem is it's very expensive to run, and it was making my whole website so slow. Like, it was so, I tried to do it on WordPress, which wasn't beneficial. And then a normal forum, it's expensive. I can't afford it to run a forum because I'd like to do an art forum. The old art forum that people used to use was at Wet Canvas. Someone bought them out, I think. I don't know. Wet Canvas is just a cesspool of misinformation and tools. But at least I haven't been there in years, so maybe it's changed. But it was not like you would post and it was like, I just want to share a painting I'm excited about. And inevitably you get someone coming on there. Well, I don't like this because this, I don't like that. And I'm like, I didn't ask you for what you didn't like. I was just excited about something I made. And then I looked at your art and I'm not sure why you're giving your opinion on anything because you don't know how to paint. But yeah, that was kind of my experience with Wet Canvas. But I thought it'd be cool to have one, like a forum that we could all join that it's nothing to do with social media. It's expensive. So I don't know if that's something, if people wanted to donate, we could probably buy one, but it's a lot of, it's involved. Let's see. Cat's Art Pick said, when you finish your marine painting, will you go back to painting with acrylics? Yes, and I'm looking forward to it. Sass said, my kid always died of dysentery. My wagon always broke a wheel, and then the wolves got me. That was my big thing. That's funny. Anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about is like, that's really morbid. It was like one of the very first I'm sure there were other computer games. It's like the first one a lot of us played. So funny. Who would have thought back then, like it makes me feel super old, but back then that computers would turn into what they have and video games and everything. Like, wow. Like I never would have guessed that we would be running our businesses on a computer, or like it's crazy what things turned into. There's definitely some good, there's definitely some bad. So there's a lot I complain about, but there's also definitely a lot I love. Fixing that perspective there a bit more. Sass said, close to then there was When the World is Carmen Sandiego. That I think was after me. I don't know. I don't remember. Like I remember hearing that one, but I think that was post like my age group. Okay, let's start getting some more of these dark areas in here. Go a little bit more blue. Get some light and dark. Actually, I think I can go a bit softer on that. I got that at 100% opacity. Let's calm down a little there. Smudge some of this out, get a little texture in there. Moody Roan said, since you're now hooked on horse videos, can I message you a YouTube link to one that I think you'd like to see? Different end of the spectrum than roping, but still cool to watch? Absolutely. Paul said, was there a Super Mario game in the 80s? There were definitely, I do remember seeing those. I remember going for like Christmas or something, some of my family members who I hated, but I remember the adults all playing. The kids weren't allowed to play it. The adults were all playing it. Sass said, even played EverQuest. Talk about dating myself. World of Warcraft was my first, like, was it an MMO or whatever? And I still play that one. But when I play, I mean, I go collect pets and mounts. That's like the extent of what I have time for. But I like it. It gives me something to do. I was just talking to one of my friends that, like, I remember we used to play together in like 2005. But we were talking about that. Funny, his character name was Matt Cawthon, which is from Wheel of Time. I never knew that that's what that character name came from. Didn't really cross my mind to ask. And so when I started reading those books, I messaged him the other day. I hadn't talked to him forever. I'm like, that is what that name came from of all the characters. He's the most annoying character in those books, and that's who you came up with. So we're arguing yesterday about that too. He's like, he was a hero. No, he's annoying. Why was that your character? There were better characters. So kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, no, I still talk to some of the people that we played with in like 2005 and stuff that I'm still friends with. Some of them that we played with in one of the guilds actually live in this area. I've met a lot of them in person, which was fun. So I'm going to smudge some of this out. I'm just getting some more texture there so it's not so flat, like it's a bit too shaded right now. So get some dots in there, smudge it up. And I'm going to take that smudgy tool, smudge it a bit more. There we go, much better. Holy crap, it's already 9:40. How long did I rant about Facebook? Okay, I need to get his stripes in there. Am I on the right? Yeah, I'm on the right one. Let's just color match. Oh no, I'll just go to that. Let's see. Oops, I don't like that color. That is crazy bright. I think you're going to be too crazy bright too. We'll tone you down a bit. And let's see, which one do I have? You. Make that more opaque. And probably a bit smaller. Actually, don't like that either. Let's go with that. Oh, too light. A little bit more. Let's try that. Nope, still a little too, nope, too brown. See, not quite hitting the color I want here. That's closer. That actually can work for a base. That really should be my darker value though. Yeah, that actually works. Joseph said, don't worry, it was the short rant. I used to have that rant all the time. But especially when someone's like, oh, that's not how Facebook is. It's like, where are you? Like, how are you not? Let's see. Okay, this one's that weird angle, so these have to be a lot closer together. They'll go here, they'll come up this far, and they'll come out to, yeah, we'll go out about that far. So let's loosely sketch them in, and then we'll widen them up. Okay, now I can come through and we'll just make those a bit thicker, a bit more sketchy. Maybe a little bit bigger. You just heard thunder, Nikki, or NH Tiggy. We had a storm this morning that woke me up. That was loud. I didn't even know that was coming. Like lots of thunder and lightning. And I thought, I kept checking because I was supposed to have I overnighted crickets to be here today, which sucks because I'm completely out of crickets now. Well, I have 6 left, but they're tiny ones, so too small for my frogs. They're Amelia size, but not frogs. So anyway, I have to overnight them because I get them from Josh's Frogs, and it's too hot for them to take like 2 days like I normally would do. So I overnighted them, and you pay so much. You pay more in shipping than you do for the actual crickets. So I overnighted them, and they were supposed to be here by 4:30, but because of the rain, I kept waking up and checking, so I got no sleep, super tired. Well, less sleep than I would have liked, and then I was up too late watching this stupid cartoon thing. But anyway, they never came. Like I still haven't. Is there any ring notifications? Nope. Those crickets never came today, so I've got to contact Josh's Frogs and be like, you need to refund me that money or the shipping fees, because I paid for overnight, not for it to not be here overnight. I got a notification that at 7 in the morning it was still in Tennessee, and I'm like, I don't think that's getting here today. But I got lucky, so total random frog story. I found, I had bought dubia roaches, back in like February or March to try with Glitch to see if she could catch those. Maybe it was even before that. I don't know. I tried a few things with Glitch to see if she could catch food. And she's the red-eye tree frog with a neurological disorder. So I didn't know they were still alive because I don't always remember to throw food in the container. It's like, yeah, they're roaches, whatever. They're not the kind that would breed in your house. It's not like they can't live. They're not going to reproduce on you. So that's not all gross like German roaches or something scary. But anyway, so I looked at the container today. they were almost all still alive. So I throw in food sometimes. I didn't know they were that sturdy. I'm like, wow, that is kind of incredible. So tonight I'm giving everyone the rest of the dubia roaches, or at least most of them. And I'm going to even see if Glitch can catch any on her own. I'm going to put them in a bowl. We're going to use that as an experiment tonight. Like, it's not all bad. We can find out how she does. But yeah, my friggin' crickets, I kept checking because I'm like, in the storm, I don't want them sitting out on the patio in the box getting all wet. But no, they just never came. So yeah, I am not super amused by that, but luckily I had the dubias, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, really, it's not that big of a deal anyway. The red-eye tree frogs or any frogs, they don't need to eat every day at all. So it's not the end of the world, but at the same time, I'm like, I paid for overnight shipping to have them here because I wanted them here today. And I don't know who is at fault and how that got screwed up. Because Josh's Frogs, they created the label at like 1 in the afternoon yesterday, which is normal when they get things sent out that day, but it didn't get picked up till after 7. So I don't know if this is a FedEx didn't meet their requirements or Josh's Frogs got it too late. I have no idea, but I'm not paying overnight shipping when I didn't get overnight shipping. Karina said, I'm looking forward to your cuttlefish painting in the future. I think they are so cute and in a messed up kind of way. And apparently they are very intelligent. Also, I love lightning. I love lightning until I saw it. I like it when it's really far out in the distance, like over the fields and stuff. When back in March, there's a house, and it actually sucks. So this is kind of an interesting story. Well, not that interesting. In March, it was during one of the live streams. There was crazy lightning going on. Like some people were seeing it out the windows of my studio. Like it was crazy, crazy. And there's a house, maybe, what is it? There's the street 1, 2, so like 3 streets down. Got hit by lightning. No one lived there yet. They were 3 weeks from closing day. That is how close this house was to being finished. And it got hit by lightning, caught on fire, top floor completely like gone, and then they had to rebuild everything. So that was March. Those people are still, they have no idea when they're moving in. It has been one problem after another. Like it messed up the plumbing and they weren't able to get that fixed right, and they thought they had it fixed, and then this went wrong. And they'd posted recently in their neighborhood group all the drama going on with that. I'm like, oh, that sucks. So they're like, we need a place to rent because our lease is up and we thought we'd be in that house by now. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I liked lightning a lot better until we saw it. We actually were watching out the window when it hit that house, and now I'm terrified. Like I wouldn't be able to get all my animals out. That would be just, yes. But in the distance, it's very nice and pretty. Let's see. Paul said, I think 2007 to 2008 were the transition years from the early 2000s to new technology and paradigm shift of the world. Don't you think? I think you're right, because that's about the time that Facebook really, people started using social media like that. I think Twitter, when did Twitter start up? But like all of that started really getting big. Yeah, I think you're right. I want to go back to forums. I like forums better. Gypsy Heart said, something funny youngins would freak out over is the fact that you used to have to have 2 keys for your car, one to unlock and one for the ignition to drive. That's right, huh? Karina said, I'm looking forward to your... Okay, I got that one. I had just skipped. Where were we? Them said, no porch pirates in your neighborhood? No, and I've got the Ring camera. This one, we really haven't had an issue with that, but I've got a Ring camera, so I would know if it got, and it hasn't, the app shows it. It just hasn't been delivered yet. So I don't even know. Does it say, hold on, let's see if I've gotten any updates on, by the way, it's not coming. Let me open the app. Because I refreshed it earlier and it finally got rid of, oh, it's at Dallas right now. It still says scheduled delivery is today. I don't think that's happening. When did it get to Dallas? It's 7:06 p.m. It got to Dallas. So unless they sent out, and I have had them show up late at night, but not on an overnight. I've never had one like this with that. So I don't know. But if the nice thing is, because that's why I pay for overnight shipping, because it's a live arrival guarantee. If I did 2-day shipping, I could pay like half on shipping costs. But if those crickets didn't make it, I'm out the whole, like I don't get refunded on that when it's this hot out. When it's not hot out, 2 is fine. But in the summer, I have to pay extra for shipping because those crickets can't be in the heat that long. So now I don't know with it being overnight. So if these crickets didn't make it, they're going to get replaced. It's just annoying. I have to wait for them to get overnighted again. The bromeliads I ordered some new bromeliads for Glitch and then for Captain Cookie and Murky's tank. Those will be fine. I'm not worried about the plants, but the crickets are the issue there. But no, we don't really have an issue with porch pirates here. I think everyone having Ring cameras probably helps, but No, actually, I take it back. There were two girls, they looked like they were about maybe 12, 13-ish, up in the houses up like a few blocks that away. So they were going through, somebody showed a video. They had tons of boxes, like a ton of deliveries had come. These girls were coming, and their faces were exposed. They were going to the door, taking the box, leaving, opening it, returning the box if they didn't want the stuff, and getting new boxes and running off with it. Like they were completely unaware they were on camera. So we have had that happen. Moody Run said, did you know that if you unfollow all the drama on Facebook, all you would hear is crickets? Spot a dime. You're all weak. It's true. No, all you would hear, if you unfollowed all the drama, all you would hear are advertisements, half of which are scams. Susan said, without bumming anyone out, that I just realized it's been 20 years since that event after all this. Oh, almost, huh? Yeah. We're a couple days off. Karina said, okay, I wouldn't like that kind of thing to happen. I've seen lightning hit houses and power lines, but didn't damage them. That sounds so cool. The sound is so cool, though. Yeah, I've always loved lightning and thunder. But when you see it hit a house, you're like, oh, crap, things are getting real now. That is a bit on the more serious side of things. Yeah, and it definitely worries me having so many animals. I mean, it's bad enough, like if you had valuables you wanted to get out, you don't have time when something like that happens, but the animals would certainly be a concern for me. The dogs would obviously be first, the dogs and the birds most likely. Try to grab Glitch on the way out, but I couldn't get all the frogs. I couldn't get my fish. I couldn't get, it was just not good. Yeah, Moody Run said, truth, I've unfollowed a lot of people lately over the drama. That's what I'm doing. I just unfollow, and it sucks. I'm like, these are friends that I used to like, and it's like, why do people feel the need to post things that are so you're just causing drama, something that you know it's going to make somebody mad, but you insist on making somebody mad because you're so sure you're right. When did being a jerk ever change somebody's mind about something? When did thinking you're so snarky ever change somebody's mind about something? I mean, okay, I know, I get it. I'm snarky about stuff because I think I'm being hilarious. I think I'm funnier than anyone else thinks I am. But when, some of these more serious topics, people will post and they're so rude to each other over, and it's like, no one is changing their mind by behaving this way. You're not going to convince somebody of your point of view on Facebook. And certainly not the way these people are doing it. It's like when I see people do that, I'm like, oh, you're that kind of person. Like, I can't respect that. I'm losing respect for too many people that I used to really respect because of how they're treating other people. It's like, wow, you're really showing your true colors. I'd rather not be near that. I mean, I guess on the flip side, it's kind of good because now we're really seeing some of these people's true colors, and I know I can avoid people who behave this way before it ends up being even more awkward in person when they start behaving that. Like, that could definitely be even worse if somebody said or started doing that in person. Like the friend I was talking about, where we have a certain subject matter that we just don't agree with each other on. No big deal. It shouldn't be. But now I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't think I would even try to hang out with them at this point until either things calm down with that, if they start to, I don't know, not be insane about things. Or can you imagine if you were in person, you got together not knowing that person was going to start this crap, and they've never done it in person. That's the funny thing. I've never seen him say stuff or be like this in person. But on Facebook, for some reason, he thinks he's going to be like, he's just attacking people. And it's like, first off, the meme you shared, completely not factual. Like, you have no data backing that. That is made up. And then you're just like, yeah, no, it is bad. Every time I open that app, whoa, too much. Go crazy there. Every time I open that app, I'm just like, why am I doing this to myself? Oops, I'm on the wrong one. Wrong layer. Let's lighten that up even more. But I guess, like I said, it's kind of good because it's like, if this is how that person is going to behave, I don't want to be in person, and even more awkward. Like, can you go home now? I don't want to be like, no, this is not cool. Gypsy Heart said, OMG, yes. When did sticks and stones may break my bones become irrelevant? Oh, you're offended? Okay, nothing happens to you. Yeah, you can't just disagree anymore on stuff. You have to be horrible to each other. You have to attack people, like family members doing this to each other too. My family members, I don't really see this with. I see it more with friends and their family members, where you're just like, holy crap. Like, families being ruined over things that are like, that isn't, it's a whole lot of misinformation that you're ruining a family over. It's not that hard to research stuff to find out like, oh, that meme you shared, that's just a meme. It's not true. Susan said, getting a like or any kind of attention creates dopamine, even negative reaction. Yeah, you're right. They've now documented it and named it. It's particularly concerning for developing brains under 24 years. Yes, I've seen those, the studies on that. That is scary. What do they say? Most of the social media giants don't let their own kids use social media. What does that tell you? Like, that's, yeah, it's kind of scary. I'm really glad I grew up in an age where there was no social media. It's too dark. Let's tone you down a bit. There we go. Just want a hint for, actually, I don't even like any of that angle. Let's change that. So these guys aren't done. We're at, what, 9:55. I want to shrink this down so we can look at it. You said, I enjoyed your rants. Have some brisket and wine for me. Oh, I forgot about the brisket. I'm so excited. So this is where we're at on these guys. We will finish them next time. They took much longer than I anticipated. Everything takes longer than I anticipated. Whoops, too big. So small, there we are. And I can see now a lot of the shading that I need to change. But here's the cool thing. Let's link those up and shrink it. And now I can move it where I want and be like, do I want you in front? Do I want you over here? Actually, that's probably where he'll stay. I like that. So we can move those. I don't want to do that just yet because I want to finish with the shading and stuff. Actually, do I even need to? I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to be. Do I? Let's see. I can also flip them around and have them coming off the other side, but being that they're kind of bigger, I think over this bigger, more, less detailed coral, let's put them in front of the mushrooms too. I like it. Okay, that's where those are going to go. So I still have a little bit more shading to do, but there we go. Let's zoom that in a little bit more. So this is, how cool is that? We can just try them out in different spots to see where we like it. Not something you can really do on a traditional painting so easily. So that is pretty handy. Now, that said, you could, let's say you were working on something super detailed, and I do this all the time, where I'm doing something surreal, like the flamingo, the one that I showed the coloring page for earlier. Wait, do I have it open? I can just pop it up, and I don't even have it open. That's not helpful at all. Whatever. I'll just tell the story. So you can have something where, like, I painted the flamingo, I painted the octopus, but I wasn't really sure where I wanted the moths. So I took a photo of the painting at that stage, pulled it into Photoshop, and Photoshop moths at different locations because some of the moths that I thought I wanted the bright green Luna moths didn't look good. I found that out in Photoshop before I ever put paint on the canvas for those moths. So I saved myself a huge headache there. And that was part of the original design. It was just once I saw it, it was like, yeah, that didn't work. So you can try things out like that in Photoshop for your traditional media. I'm working on a painting right now. I'll show you guys too, the one that I'm working on. I got it drawn out last night. Let's see. Elephant, it's the fox. It's under watercolor, so I guess I need to go over there. Hold on one second. Watercolor, fox. Yeah, the small one, we'll just pull that up. So this is the painting I'm going to be doing in watercolor with colored pencil. That's the layout. Mine will obviously be different. This is just kind of to give me my general where things are going to go. And that's actually, how many photos is that? Hold on, I can show you. It's actually kind of cool, I think. Let me see. And the fox is going to be 16 by 20. Hold on, it's taking a minute. Okay, let's look at how many layers I have on this. I'll show you the original photo and where all of this started. I tried several. That's the other thing. I like to try several different images to see what will look good. I didn't end up going with any of that, so I guess I don't need that. So I think this was my base. So this was the initial image. I don't know, just something about it, that grungy look I really liked. But I didn't want that background. I wanted more teal, kind of broken up. So we've got that. I knew I wanted that fox. So we put the fox in there. I knew I wanted graffiti. I really want to play with color. So I've got graffiti. I pulled from another photo, made it translucent, did some erasing so it looks like it was actually on that door. Then I added, if you look at the floor, I added some dirt. I wanted to change that up. So we changed that. So it's a whole bunch of photos in one in order to get the look that I wanted. So like there's a B there. That one I don't even know what the word was, that it was cropped from a larger piece. Changing that to an F to go with the freedom thing at the bottom. But I'm like, it's just cool to be able to take all of these different images, come up with a design in Photoshop before you ever hit the canvas. And now mine will look different and mine will all go together a bit different, and I'll be making some definite changes, especially on the graffiti. But that gives me an idea of the color that I want to use and the feel that I'm trying to capture there. So one of the things I'm going to be doing on this guy that's quite a bit different than you often see me do with, well, like with watercolor, whatever else, I'm going to be taking a black, like actual colored pencil black, and getting kind of a grungy look, a sketchy look around a lot of the edges. So it's going to have a little bit more of a stylized feel. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Fem said, what size are you doing this as well, or only, are you doing prints of your digital art as well, or only the traditional art? Yes, there will be prints available for this one. And this one is big. This is, what size did I go with? This one is 600 pixels by 480, so it's a good size. Good size on there. Let's see. Moody Roan says, I saw a family member post on Facebook a page a year ago about something that happened over 4 years ago. I confronted them and the response, oh, so you weren't supposed to see that. See, people you really find out who's an idiot too. Like, people just don't think things through. Like, I have a feeling the friend who was posting to me, we'll use that as an example. I bet he thinks I wouldn't have seen it. Why are you posting that? Why are you posting something that is going to divide people? Why behave this way? Why not just be kind to people and respectful of people and respectful of the fact that we're not all going to agree on everything, and that's okay. But instead, now I'm not comfortable hanging out with him because I'm like, you've publicly basically bashed and mocked anyone who doesn't agree with you in a way that, like, if we were to have a conversation, and I know that of this person, if I were to have that conversation with him in person, because he was respectful, it's like, oh, all right, cool. No big deal. But because of the way it's posted online, suddenly people get stupid and they think they can say anything they want. And I've lost respect for so many people because of stuff like this. Where I'm like, can you just be nice to people? Is that too much to ask? Let's see. Moody Run, I had apologized for that a million times. Not doing it anymore. I unfollowed over the drama. Yeah. Let's see. EO said, I did that fox in pastels. Oh, that's awesome. Isn't it a good photo? There were some really good fox photos I found on Unsplash and Pixabay. Susan said, I can understand why you were drawn to this. It's very textural. I can't talk. I look forward to seeing the outcome. If you keep this up, I may have to invest my menagerie income on Patreon. Yeah, I'm definitely working on some more stuff that patrons have requested. You don't realize sometimes when it's already 10:02, so I'll wrap this up. Sometimes you get so caught up, like, okay, I need to get a lesson out. You don't necessarily realize you're not doing some of the stuff that patrons are looking for, like wildlife. I was doing a little bit too much with like surreal stuff that is cool, but like the bull in the china shop, no one's going to want to paint that. It was fun for my friend, but I did too many things like that in a row. And I had some complaints from people like, hey, can you do some more normal wildlife stuff? And it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that I'd been missing stuff. So yeah, I'm really enjoying getting some requests. And like the orangutan, I wouldn't have chosen an orangutan for myself. It's not like a subject matter that I'm super obsessed with. And it ended up being one of my favorite paintings ever. I think most of you guys have probably seen it, but do I have, where is she? Oh, I have too much stuff here. Oh, that is just pulling out of, that's pulling off the whole computer. This is not a quick thing to find. That's not the way to do this. Orangutan, where are you? All the reference photos I used from her. Where is she? I thought I'd have this up like almost instantly and that would make it better, and I didn't. Is this the good one? I think this is the good one. Yeah, so that painting there, I wouldn't have chosen her had not, like, an orangutan was one of the most requested subject matters when I asked you guys over on Patreon what you wanted to see. And I'm so glad because it's one of my favorite paintings. Like, I have to find somewhere on one of my walls to put this because I absolutely love this, which is, again, funny. I wouldn't have chosen one for myself. It's a photo I had taken. I knew the photo was, like, I liked the photo. It wasn't a subject matter I would typically be drawn to myself. And I loved it because you guys are awesome. So anyway, We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Make sure if you have not already, sign up or subscribe to, well, subscribe here too, but subscribe to Nick and Joseph. They both have channels here. They're moderators. They keep all the trolls out of the comments and children from exposing their addresses or something inappropriate they shouldn't be doing. It's for kids. But they've got both of them have art channels here on YouTube. I think Joseph is changing his live stream schedule, but he's been live streaming weekly. Link is in the video description to both of their art channels. Definitely tell them thank you. They help so much. They do all the work in the forums, the groups, the everything. Joseph does all of our group challenges stuff, although I do need to get a group challenge for this month for Patreon up. So now that I'm thinking about that, that needs to be done tomorrow. I've got links if you want to follow me over on MeWe. Links are in the video description. I think I have the TikTok link there. I've been posting there. I need to make some new videos tomorrow for that. And I think that's it. Is that all? I think those are new video tomorrow. I'll have that up. It's already edited. This is an amazing feeling. And, so I never mentioned this. Oh my God, wrap this up, Lisa. It's just something I'm excited about, so I want to share with you guys. I finally sat down, I can enunciate. I sat down and came up with a full schedule, like detailed everything. And I wanted to add because I wanted to be doing more videos. I wanted to be more active with my online stuff. And so I made a schedule and packed it full of stuff, so much stuff. And I'm able to get so much more work done. It's crazy what a schedule can do for you, but I am so much more productive and I'm having more free time. I actually have Mondays. Mondays are my day off now. I have a day off. I haven't had a day off in months. Unless I'm sick, I don't take days off. So yeah, I was able to like formulate or come up with a plan for a schedule. I have a day off. I can get more work done. And one of the things, so Tuesday or Thursday's work is working on Patreon postcards. I'm really hoping those are never late again. Like that, those are going out monthly. I don't have them in here. The stickers won't go out. The stickers in the new, for those who signed up for the highest tier, the stickers and the greeting cards aren't here yet. Those will go out. It always goes the month after. So like September postcards go out in October. So it'll be the same thing for the greeting cards, but it should always be on time still, given that. So, it's the month after, but it's still when it's supposed to be because of the way the new schedule is. One of my problems I had before was I would try to get the monthly stuff done all in one day. It doesn't fit into your weekly schedule that way. So now every week I do a little something for the Patreon postcard, for the whatever. It's scheduled. I shouldn't be behind on those anymore. I'm super excited. Anyway, that is it. I'm actually going to wrap this up now. Make yourself a schedule if you haven't. It gives you more time. You think you add more to it, but it gives you more time. And it has improved my life significantly just in the last week. Having a day off really helped my mental state too. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys. That's not the button I'm looking for. I will see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Bye.